Welcome back to The Word. I'm joined alongside Casey Sturgill, resident NASCAR analyst and resident NASCAR specialist.
Woo! 3-car!
So we're here today we're not talking NFL for once. We're actually going to talk about the upcoming MLB playoffs and the already in progress NASCAR chase for the Nextel Cup. So why don't you kick it off with your? See, we're already we're 3 or are we 2 or 3 weeks into the chase?
3 weeks into the chase.
We're 3 weeks into the chase. So why don't you go ahead and give us your 3-week breakdown of the NASCAR chase for the Nextel Cup?
3-week breakdown. Yesterday they were in Kansas City. Got delayed, a little bit of rain. They got started back up. Tony Stewart was actually leading the race going into the rain delay. But they came back and Tony Stewart blew a tire and ended up out of the race. I wouldn't say he blew a tire. Something happened and eventually it led to one of his tires being blown. But anyway, he got really upset and I enjoyed that. So Tony Stewart's hurting in the standings right now. It looks like it's going to be your Hendrick boys. You got Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson.
I'm not a you're a NASCAR specialist, but I am certainly a NASCAR fan and I like to watch. I haven't gotten a chance with NFL stuff being prominent and some of the other things I had going on Sunday. I couldn't watch the race at Kansas, but I did do my research. I do keep up, and I am an avid 24 Rainbow Warrior fan.
Right.
So
that's unfortunate. But that aside, the one surprise in the standings right now, Clint Boyer is in third. Who knew? Clint Boyer. He drives the Jack Daniels 7-car.
The only sport that would openly endorse malt liquor.
Yes.
Is NASCAR.
You can't beat that. You can go to a NASCAR. Look, all right, here is one of my bold statements.
Oh, bold statement number 1.
NASCAR is one of the, if not the best spectator sport for the sole purpose that you can take coolers inside the events. And they can have whatever you want them to have in there, unless it's glass. Can't have glass, but if it's in plastic, you can have it.
Because everything that's in the cooler are on the cars.
That's right.
So why wouldn't you let them in there?
Yep.
It just makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. But I highly encourage all of you to enjoy a NASCAR race in the near future. That being said, we have some more stuff going on.
Right. Well, let me just say this real quick about NASCAR. Kansas was a bloodbath. I didn't watch it, but I did tune into some of the post-race stuff and I did a little research before the show. Kansas was a bloodbath. 7 of the 12 chasers, if you will, finished 29th or worst.
Yes.
Because when I tuned in, Jeff Gordon was 27th, and I was really worried. He ended up finishing quite well, and also Jimmy Johnson finished okay, and Clint Boyer. They're really the only 3. I won't say with a legitimate shot because there's still 7 races to go, but they're the only ones that are within 100 of the leader, Jimmy Johnson, right now. So it's not a 3-man field yet, but if any of those 7 drivers who finished 29th or worse have another bad finish,
yeah, it's done.
It's done. They're done,
Okay.
And that's what makes the chase. To me, I have my problems with the chase, and we can get into that maybe another week. But one of the things I do like is that it really is. If you wreck out 2 races, it really is do or die for these 10 races, and I wish there were more variety in the races that you do have in those last 10, maybe a road course. But again, we'll get into that another week. But yes, what I'm transitioning to now is the other playoffs that are about to take place, the MLB playoffs. And guess what? I got my World Series pick. I don't know if you remember this from week 1, but my World Series pick, Phillies, Red Sox, I got it in by the skin of my teeth.
Looking pretty good. You had Phillies, Red Sox. I had Phillies, Indians. Right now, we're both looking like we're in pretty good shape. The National League is, in my opinion, extremely weak. I'm a Cubs fan. I'm pumped about the field. The Mets completed what could be one of the worst collapses in team sport history. I believe they had a 7-game lead with 18 games left, something like that, and they managed to blow it. They're out of the playoffs. The Phillies are in, the Diamondbacks are in, the Cubs are in, and then you're either going to have the Rockies or the Padres. It's wide open. It really is. I think the Phillies do have the best team, but really any of those teams can win.
Well, I have a question for you. I've been watching. I watched baseball tonight. I watched some of the talking heads, and they are really. I've heard Phil's Red Sox. I've heard Cubs Red Sox. Is anyone giving? And of course, we still have the. Is it tonight? The 1-game playoff, San Diego, Colorado.
Tonight.
Is anybody really giving, whatever team comes out of that, is really anyone giving them a chance to get to the series?
Well, I think the case there is it's just the oversight on the part of the media, just because they're not locked in yet, so everybody's kind of just ignoring them. But I think after tonight, you'll hear some of the talking heads maybe give some of those guys a shot to knock off somebody in the first round. But I don't blame them for not picking either the Padres or the Rockies to go on to win the pennant. Mostly because the Padres the offense is inconsistent. They have pitching, but the offense is kind of shady. And the Rockies, the pitching is they don't really have any.
And pitching is everything when we get to the postseason. If you don't have the pitching, if the pitching's not there, it's not going to happen. So that's the NL. Let's go to the AL breakdown. So I'm still sticking with the Red Sox. I still think, they struggled down the stretch, certainly. They picked up some of the mojo, but I still think they have all the components there for a World Series run. It's just whether they can execute. That's what it's going to come down to.
I'd say without a doubt the Red Sox have the best team in the American League, but best team in the entire major leagues right now. I think it's going to be really exciting to watch the series between the Yankees and Indians, because either way, I'm going to go ahead and say Boston's going to win their first series. Okay. And then it's going to be really exciting regardless of if the Red Sox play the Yankees or the Indians. That right there is going to be the series to watch. Yep. Like you said, if the Red Sox execute, they should win. But it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be so much emotion and hype behind those series. It's going to be. I think we're really set up for a great playoff run here this year.
I'm excited. I'll definitely tune in. I enjoy watching the MLB playoffs much more than I do I say this about the MLB playoffs. The World Series completely trumps, in my opinion, and it's starting to trump the Super Bowl for me, but it completely trumps the NBA Finals. I enjoy watching the NBA playoffs in the opening rounds.
Yes.
We had some great series, Golden State, Utah last year. Golden State Mavericks. I was cheering for the Warriors, so the Warriors Jazz series wasn't very pleasant for me. But it seems like to me in major leagues, the series only get better. But I say that, but then I think back to some of the past World Series, and they haven't been very good.
The White Sox and Astros was terrible.
Yeah. Actually, I may be completely wrong about this, and that's okay. Because I just started thinking about the actual World Series
has been lacking,
but the division series,
yes, very exciting,
are excellent.
No.
But it's the same with the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals have been terrible the past few years. I think the Super. Man, maybe this is all sports. Maybe this is like a recent trend in sports. Wow, we didn't even do our research and we stumbled onto a little topic here. Is that the finals of a lot of the major sports haven't been very exciting.
Nope.
The Super Bowl, Indianapolis, Chicago wasn't a game. New England, Philadelphia wasn't a game. The last good Super Bowl was New England, Carolina.
When's the last time, though, you had a college championship be bland, not exciting? I don't remember the last time that was.
That's a good point.
Now, college, you can always count on a good matchup. There's always so much debate as to the best teams in college, and that basically is because there's a lot more teams.
Yeah.
So the two teams that are going to end up playing each other are going to be closer as far as talent level.
Even college football, with all its faults, we've had some great games come out of the final few games, the final bowl games. Man, interesting.
Fascinating stuff.
So, okay. It's about time, Joe, to wrap it up. So, let's go with. Okay, first of all, let's go back to NASCAR. Your pick. Who's gonna win the championship?
Jeff Gordon. As much as it pains me to say that.
That's right. That's my pick. I think Jeff Gordon is gonna put it together.
Jeff Gordon is from California.
No,
he can't drive a car.
No, he's from Indian. He's from
But
Indianapolis.
he was born in California.
But he has a home in North Carolina as well.
Real quick, his first wife, her grandmother was a substitute teacher at our high school all the time. Miss Boljak, sweetest old lady ever. I hope she's still alive because she was so sweet, but she couldn't hear a lick, and we took advantage of her, and I'm very embarrassed about that.
Okay, well, real quickly, I actually have a weird connection to Jeff Gordon as well. My former ex-GF was actually was interning for Monday Night Football when Carolina played Tampa Bay last year on Monday Night Football, and Jeff Gordon was there because it was Coca-Cola 600 race week that they always do in Charlotte. So Gordon was there. He came on, and she had to hold she was basically Jeff Gordon's little gopher and
Hey.
goat and mule, and she. As much as I love Jeff Gordon and I love watching him drive, she actually said he is a pretty big jerk, that he's a pretty big tool bag, and I'm sure you would love to hear that. Actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but his new wife is Belgian supermodel Hottie 2x4. I don't know what that means. So, but anyway, point is, so we both have obscure.
Jeff Gordon is a metrosexual.
Bold statement number 2. Bold statement number 2.
He is, man. That scruff that he's got, sometimes get out of here with that, man. No, yours is legit. His is like somebody took a
Thank you.
paintbrush and just like,
Thank you.
Jeff Gordon's like, yes, exactly, thank you.
Wow. Some statements being made about Gordon's.
I don't like him. 3 cars.
Oh, wait, before we go. Okay, real quick, are you sticking with your World Series pick? I'm
Yeah.
sticking with mine.
Yes.
So we're
Yeah, I'm
locked in
sticking
now.
with
No changes now.
I picked the Indians, right, over the Phillies. Indians over Phillies. Yes,
Right, and
I'll
I
stick
picked
with
Red
that.
Sox over Phillies with Julio Lugo being the MVP. And so we'll pick again when it's World Series time. We'll just go ahead and pick the winners.
Oh,
from
we're
that.
not gonna have to pick again. One
True.
Of us, well, one of us is going to.
True.
But
True.
one of us is gonna be right.
Oh yes, let's get to the Super Bowl picks real quick. Gosh, Carolina's done. They're out of
Yep.
my picks. I'm going.
I still got New England.
I'm
Did you still have
going.
New England?
No, because I switched to Indianapolis last week. I can switch back to New
Oh
England.
yeah, you did.
I'm going. You know what? I didn't want to do this, but I'm going Packers in the NFC,
Woo!
and I'm going New England.
Too soon.
New England
soon.
Packers. It's going to be a rematch. I'm 96. The year that we went to the Panthers when we first went to the NFC Championship game. So I'm picking the Panthers to get beat by the Packers. And who did New England play that year to win? No, Jacksonville, because we were both expansion teams were in '96. So that's my pick. That's my full pick of the Super Bowl. New England, Green Bay.
I have no idea in the NFC. I just say New England's gonna win it. They're gonna dominate face.
So New England versus NFC team for you this week.
NFC
and
stinks.
James, New England, Carolina still.
Don't do it, James.
Who starts? For Carolina in that game? Jeff Garcia? Does Jeff Garcia start for Carolina? New England, Tampa Bay. There we go. New England, Tampa Bay. And speaking of Green Bay, speaking of the Packers, go ahead. I'm giving you 15 seconds to do your Brett Favre impression. Mr. Favre, how do you feel about the season so far?
Well, I mean, we're 4-0. What can I say? We're playing well. I feel good. I'm real proud of all these guys. It goes back to them. They got trust in me. I got trust in them. I mean, it's just we kind of work off each other. So I'm really excited. I really am. I think we got a real shot.
All right. Well,
I will never retire.
I will never.
I will never ever retire. I will die on a football field and be buried that day.
Oh, okay. When we come back, we're gonna have one of our interns come on and talk about what it's been like to be an intern for the Word, and then we're going back to me and James to finish up the show. You're watching the Word. I'm Doug Branson. This is Brett Favre. Stay tuned.